Welcome back, everybody. My name is Lewis, and this is another episode of Man Bites Film. This week, we're actually going to be doing a special edition for 4th of July, and we're going to be reviewing top 5 streaming picks on Netflix currently. So I want to start off with a more obscure one. A lot of people haven't really heard about this, and I think this is a good addition for people that haven't really gone into like the Asian market and all that stuff. It's called Battle Royale. So all you people that like Hunger Games and all that bullshit story that's called the Hunger Games, all right, that's a blatant ripoff of this movie. It's a Japanese movie, and this came out before the crazy bitch even wrote the book. All right, contrary to what she says, she's never seen this thing and blah blah blah. That's bullshit. All right, because especially in the artistic circles that she went around in, she had to have seen this. This was out in the what do you call it, the British markets a lot actually, and it went around a lot as a book first, and it became very known as a book before it was known as the movie. So all you people that like the Hunger Games, you'll like this even more. This is a true story of the Hunger Games. This is the actual basis of what the hell she wrote. So this is like to piss a couple people off, like Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. You know how Harry Potter totally blatantly ripped off Lord of the Rings. There you go, yeah. So all you people that are gonna hate, please hate. So the next movie that I want to review is Clerks. This, for some reason, I don't understand how people have not seen this movie. Okay, if you have any sense of like dark humor, comedy, or just even grotesque humor, just dick and fart jokes, this is the movie you want to watch. This is freaking hilarious. If you've worked in retail as a clerk, what do you call it? Just any type of business really that you're a clerk and you have to deal with dumbass customers, this is the movie you really want to watch, because this personifies everything that we ever go through, from the stupid bosses to the stupid customers to just the ridiculous things that we encounter every day and that they want us to do every day. So this movie, if you have not seen it, please watch it. It is hilarious from top to bottom. And if you don't like black and white movies, get at least up to the 36 mark. As soon as you get to 36, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And that's when the movie starts picking up a lot more. So you really enjoy it at that point. This is an independent film, so it looks a little cheesy. It's Kevin Smith. Back in the day when this was his first film, he actually did this as an indie film. He maxed out all his credit cards and sold a bunch of random memorabilia from Star Wars and all that stuff that he had to be able to finance this film, and stole a lot of money from his mom apparently. So it took a lot of effort to get this film actually done, and he was one of the clerks actually working in the what do you call it, the 7-Eleven wannabe store. So he actually was legitimately a clerk, and he actually edited the whole film in the what do you call it, the records, the what do you call it, the rental store right next door where Randall works. So it's actually pretty funny. He was hanging up film strips and all that stuff and cutting it, actually literally cutting with scissors the film in the store next door. So please check this out if you haven't seen this. Again, streaming on Netflix. And I want to go into a classic in my opinion. This is the highest rated film on IMDb ever. It's The Shawshank Redemption. For anybody that has not seen this movie, I don't know what rock you've been living under, but please watch this. This is the most beautiful, mind-blowingly amazing story with Morgan Freeman in it, and it's about these two guys that get put in prison, and their bond in the prison, how they actually like build this type of friendship, this trust for each other. And it is so moving how this film develops little by little, and the way the plot actually unravels and everything. It's so smooth It doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel like you're being told a story. You feel like you're living these guys' lives in this 2.5 hour long movie, and you just feel what these characters are feeling, this tension between the jailmates, because obviously there is tension. It is a jail for crying out loud, and this is a period piece, so it goes back a little bit further, and it's when times were a little bit more simpler, I guess you could say. So people had a little bit more trust and more personality than they do now. They actually have, like, a soul. So even criminals. So this movie really shows that light, and it brings it to light a lot more than any other film I've ever seen. I mean, this takes Green Mile and takes it up that extra couple notches and makes it a masterpiece. I can't think of a single thing about this film that is flawed. The pacing, the music, the editing, the acting is superb. I mean, this is the best acting I've ever seen in a film. The direction, there's not a single scene in the film that is pointless. Everything has a point to move the characters forward, to move the story forward. It's amazing how they do that in such a short time span. It feels like you've been with these guys for years, yet you've only been with them for 2.5 hours. I really like that, and this movie is amazing. By far, one of my favorite films. Next one that I want to go into is one of my favorite films on my top 10, and it's called Almost Famous. This is a Cameron Crowe film, and it actually goes into the story about this guy that this kid, and he is, I believe, 16 years old, and he goes and follows around a band, Stillwater, and he's basically trying to write for Rolling Stone magazine, and kind of tricks them into thinking that he's an adult, which is actually hilarious. And he follows this band around. He becomes part of the family of this band, and I love how this story unfolds. And it's a coming of age film, and supposedly it takes place a lot. It's basically a biopic of Cameron Crowe himself, apparently, and he develops with these characters, with this band. He grows just like this band grows, and all the drama unfolds and all that stuff, and it's just a great heartwarming feel movie, and I personally identify with it a lot. I really like the characters in this film, especially the main character, and the mom is freaking hilarious. That lady, I love her. She's so good in this film. It's the mom from Malcolm in the Middle, and she does pretty much the same role in this film, and I love it. It's great. Fantastic role, fantastic movie, and when I saw that this was streaming on Netflix, I was like, oh, thank God, finally. It's such a good film. So please enjoy this one. And of course, finally, I have to do this one. I know this is kind of like saying the token black guy, but Clockwork Orange is currently streaming on Netflix, and I really want you guys, if you have not seen this movie, this is the psychological thriller of all time. This film is perfection. There's not a single shot in this film that's bad. It's this great, crazy film about these gangster wannabe kids in the near future, and all the bad stuff that they do, but you feel sympathetic for the main characters, and the main character rather. And Malcolm McDowell, he does such a phenomenal job taking the role of Alex to make you actually feel what this character goes through in the film. And that torture scene is insane in the middle of the film. Like, he actually cut his eyeball when he was doing the stretching of the eyeballs and everything, because he was actually stretching his eyeballs for that scene. And of course, to the style of Stanley Kubrick, it wasn't just one take. It was about 40 something takes. So he was in that position with his eyes stretched out, with a guy dropping eye drops into his eye for almost 12 hours straight. All right, that's dedication in an actor. And of course, Stanley Kubrick, this is his masterpiece in my opinion. 2001 is right up there, but this is number one all-time favorite film of mine, period. It's a fantastic movie. If you have not seen it, this is a 10 out of 10 for me. Okay, and I rarely give that. You're gonna see a lot of that here, actually. So let's go back. Almost Famous, 9.5 out of 10. Shawshank Redemption, 10 out of 10. Clerks, I give it a 7 out of 10. Battle Royale, a 6 out of 10. So I tried to put the best ones, obviously, and obviously Clockwork Orange is my favorite film of all time, so that's number one. So I hope you guys liked this session. For 4th of July, I wanted to do something special. And next week, we're actually going to have a special edition because I'm going to be in Miami. I'm going to record with Brandon actually at his house. So this background is going to be a little bit different. And we're going to have a remote episode, I guess you could say. So I hope you guys enjoy that. And I hope you guys stay tuned for next week's episode. And we'll see you guys then.